Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jesse Jackson III. I'm the best-selling author and facilitator of the Don't Kick 'em Out book and training series. And I'm the lead advisor and consultant here at the Best Man Company, LLC. I'm just so excited to be the one to announce our first ever bus and transportation staff conference. It's going to be one of a kind. It's where we're bringing all of the great lessons that we have shared with teachers, leadership teams. We're bringing that to the bus staff and people who are the first contact with our students on a day-to-day basis. I knew that I had to do something. I've always had a very serious view of the bus. One, because I uh, rode the bus, meaning did a lot of the monitoring of the bus. So I knew what was going on the bus and I knew how to control it and get it where we needed to go. Early on in my career, let me give you a history lesson how serious Don't Kick 'em Out is. This was the first Don't Kick 'em Out book. This is the book that started all of this in 2013 or 2014. This book did it. I followed this book up with Don't Kick 'em Off. And it was this version, but it was about the bus. And what I started to see was the same behavior that's going on in school is going on the bus. And I realized how powerful the person on the bus, right? When I was riding that bus and it was my assignment to ride that bus on AM route and PM route, I recognized how much foolishness that I was able to get in front of. I recognized when I was back in high school how we had so much respect for our bus driver, Miss Gardner. I can remember that's back in 98, 99, 91, Miss Gardner. We was in a very rough situation neighborhood. She had total respect, and we wasn't gonna let no foolishness go on our bus because we respected her, the way she dealt with us. She always lightened up our day, was happy to see us, greeted all of us, and told us make good decisions. And we had great respect for her, and we gave that back to her. And so after this book, once Don't Kick 'em Out went to its 10th year anniversary, that's how we got here with Don't Kick 'em Out 2.0. Even in this book, I included a lot of my bus education. Well, over this last 3 years, I have seen an escalation in negativity on our buses. There's things, it's headed the wrong direction. So whenever something's headed the wrong direction, that's when I go in the lab, put all my notes together, come up with something and bring it to the people. And this is what we were able to come up with. I had to bring it back and bring it to its own 10th edition. Don't kick them off the bus. The transportation handbook. It's for bus drivers, bus monitors, bus directors. Just teaching, what do we do? This stuff has gone the wrong way. What are we seeing on the bus where we need some help? Right? It's over a couple of 100,000 drivers in the US here alone that take kids to school every day. And you got to listen to me. This is what I want to dispel this myth in our business. People, I have had such diversities of population. I work with elite private schools. I work with Catholic schools. I work with high performing charter schools. I work with some low performing charter schools. I work with some of the largest districts in the country that are high performers. I work with some that are not, right? I work with some of the smallest. I work with some of the largest. I mean, we're working with a district that has over 44,000 in it in a small, in small schools. 44,000 is just a good number. It's not that big, but it's a pretty good number. And so what are we talking about? I started to recognize as we have more behavior problems in the building, that stuff is happening on the bus too. And now it's getting out. So, right, these last 3 years, I've been watching tape. A friend of mine in Ohio, he was a pioneer. We worked together to get in front of the bus stuff, actually rewrote his policies about putting people off the bus because we started to see things. What are we talking about with our bus folks? So, we're talking about fighting is a no fly. Your transportation rights are revoked. They're revoked. We're talking about vaping. It's going on. We're talking about there's a very serious disconnect with the building staff. So bus drivers will say, well, I did write the referral. And you got some bus drivers that won't write the referral. So kids are doing stupid stuff. we don't find out about it. There's a disconnect between the driver and the schoolhouse. And so with the DKTO format, don't kick them out, our framework, what's the pillar number one? Is good policies. So what we have to do is come back and let's just evaluate our policies and see if it works. Do you know there's so many schools that haven't caught up to vaping in their policy and handbook yet? They're not there. It's not there. They still have archaic fight policies. You know, I had one situation in North Carolina where the littles, the babies, having their little tantrum stuff that we let them do in school. Well, we are out here on the route, and this kid is throwing stuff up at the bus driver. It's got 50 kids on there driving a rig. She's having the same little tantrum that she had in second grade, tearing up your classroom. She decided to do that on the bus. No, man, that's not how this works. No, and this is where we gotta sit down. This is where the training's gotta come in. This is where we have got to get to the fundamentals, the understanding and discipline of how to prevent and correct poison. We're letting it go. Why? Because we don't have the right policy in place. Number two, what do we work on? Structure. So what am I work with a bus driver with? Bus driver has to have their rules. It's your bus, right? It's like me coming over your house for a weekend. Hey, run those shoes at the door. Hey, you can't do this here at my house. It's the exact same way. The bus is mine. The kids are not entitled to do what they want to do. And there's an appropriate way to do these things. And it occurs with good policy, structure. I was always a proponent of having assigned seating on the bus. You just can't sit anywhere. That's how I know my kids and I get to learn you by name. This is how I get to learn you by route. But that's a structure issue. That's something a driver can learn to make their life a lot easier. And then here's the wild card. It's teamwork. Don't kick them out. It's all about working together. Okay. If you're letting kids do crazy stuff in the classroom, do you expect them to come to the bus and not do crazy things? So it's the ability to work together. It's the ability to work together. And what's the wild card of that? That requires training. I just don't believe how neglectful we have been about this, not getting people training. And so what I have committed to do, if you look at our library, I cover every part of the business from food service to custodians to superintendents, school board. I cover the entire deal. You know why? Because I know in this new world, everybody has to be trained. Everybody has to hear the same thing. People have to know the realities of what we're dealing with. There are people that are still in they're delusional and they're saying the babies. They're not babies. This 6 year old is doing some adult stuff. Okay. And if you've seen the videos that I've seen, you got to stop that crap. Trauma zones are real and they're dealing us real trauma orientated stuff. And we got to be serious because once that tape gets out and we're neglectful, you're on the hook for it. So this is why we have to do things the right way. We got to learn how to do things the right way. And on the bus is where a lot of this stuff is going down. How can I have my bus drivers out there with my precious cargo? My bus drivers are the first touch of every day. A bus driver can set a lot. Our buses drivers are meeting that energy at the sidewalk, right? And a lot of times, what's the big issue in the business? Hygiene. And the bus drivers are catching that with. You got some people, I've heard of it, have put somebody off for smelling. Wouldn't let somebody get on the bus because of how they smelled. And so what parts are smell that we got going on? We have basic hygiene deficits. And then we got people they come from marijuana homes. They're back. Guys, we know this in car rider line. Right? And so you got some states that marijuana is legal. Man, that stuff comes out of the car. It's all over the backpack. You don't know what to do. But I know it can't go in my schoolhouse. You got to make some adjustments here. We want to be successful here. We got to make some adjustments. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm doing the conference, right? To invite all of the bus drivers in the US, get in here. In Canada, get in here. Let's learn. Let's learn together. Let's grow together and let's come up with some pro action so we can get in front of this stuff. Every single transportation director in the United States, you need to have access and get your team in here. The way it works is you see the date of the conference. I'm going to do multiple days of it. I want to do it live. When you get the registration, you are able to have access to the training for the next 30 days. The key part about it is it's the ability to get the book. So when you get individual registrations, everybody is sent the book. We're going to obviously send them to the school, but the key is to get the books for your staff, right? So people can, what I noticed about a lot of bus drivers is they read. It's really unique. If you see that bus out there, typically when I go out there, you can see somebody in there. Some are on their phone, but I see a lot read. And so get them the tools that promote success. It is our bus staff in our transportation conference, first of its kind. It is occurring live, and I will be hosting it, and I will be sharing a lot of the same content we share with principals, we share with our teachers that work with our students and families. They have to be equipped to be able to serve properly. Register your bus drivers in this immediately. Thousands of drivers and staff will be in there. And I'm doing this for the people to give us the advanced level guidance we need to be supportive and to be in front of our student issues that we know are going to come. And they're going to come the first week of school when that bus is available. So let's be trained, prepared, so we know what to do. I'm looking forward. First of all, I'm looking forward. This conference is going to be my favorite conference of the year. And looking forward to you getting in there. Every superintendent, transportation director, get all of your drivers in there. I guarantee you, you will not regret the investment. I'm Dr. Jackson. I'll see you in class.